watching!
The President's Trophy winners. Exhale, British Columbia.
You're watching Seeking Stanley, powered by BC Hydro Power Smart. Let's be smart with our power.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Seeking Stanley on CBC News Vancouver, our special Canucks post-game show as we follow the Canucks march all the way to the Stanley Cup. Of course, Seeking Stanley, powered by BC Hydro. And what a game and what a night for hockey fans in the Lower Mainland and across British Columbia. The Canucks with an absolute thriller yet again, 3-2 in overtime. And Alex Burrows, excuse the pun, but taking a bite out of the Boston Bruins tonight. I'm sure a lot of Bruins fans hoping Burrows wasn't even going to play tonight. So what does number 14 do? 2 goals and a helper. He's in on all 3 goals, and of course the beauty 11 seconds in to overtime. I'll tell you what, before we get to the video and down to the rink, let's take a live shot and see what's happening out on Granville Street. As we know, thousands upon thousands of people coming downtown today. All kinds of people at the CBC Plaza to watch the game, and also on Granville Street. And it doesn't look like anyone is going anywhere anytime soon. Everyone enjoying the moment, and why not? After a 17-year wait and really a 40-year wait, the Canucks now lead the Stanley Cup final 2-0. And if this is the beginning of the party, I can't wait to see what happens if the Canucks can find a way to win 2 more games. And as we said, Alex Burrows, the hero tonight. And you might have missed the goal at the beginning of overtime because maybe you were grabbing a snack or you turned away from the TV for a second. Let's take a look at the game winner, and we'll pick it up. I'll tell you what, right off the draw in overtime. And let's take a listen to Jim Hughson.
The team has won 60 to them. Road team has the puck here, and the Bruins advance and take it right away. Here's Burrows, fakes, can't take the shot. Burrows left, scores! Alex Burrows has done it again. 11 seconds.
Take a look again. Alex Burrows never given up on this play. Stays with the puck. Zdeno Chara, we'll talk about it later. Maybe a little bit lazy on that play, and it cost the Canucks. And Tim Thomas couldn't get off the ice quick enough. Well, the Canucks couldn't get on the ice quick enough to help number 14 celebrate what has turned out to be his, I don't know, another big moment for Alex Burrows. Of course, he scored the overtime winner in Game 7 against the Chicago Blackhawks. That goal finally letting Canuck fans the ability to exhale and dream about what it would be like in the final round. And here we are again. And as we said, Burrows with that incident with Patrice Bergeron in Game 1. For a while, it looked like he might get suspended. Maybe he wouldn't play in Game 2. And for Canuck fans, it's a good thing he did. He scores the first goal, and of course, he scores the last goal, the one that really counts. Now, also lost in all the emotion of the overtime win. To speak about emotion, what about the return of number 27? Manny Malhotra goes down on March 16th with an eye injury versus Colorado. Not only is his season in doubt, his career is in jeopardy, a number of eye surgeries. They said he was done for the season, but then he showed up and he started skating with the team just in his tracksuit. Then he started wearing the equipment, and then you see tonight, here he is taking the ice with the rest of the team, and the fans at Rogers Arena going absolutely ballistic as they saw him tonight. There you see him taking the pre-game skate, as we mentioned, out since March 16th. Everyone talking about what a leader this guy is in the room. First year as a Canuck, but already making an impression. Was immediately embraced by the veterans on this team for his experience and what he brings, and talk about a character guy. The fans obviously hoping he was going to be there tonight. And can you imagine what's going through his mind as he exhales? He's on the bench getting ready for the Stanley Cup final. And what a job he did in the face-off circle. So much was made about having Manny come back and what he could do in the defensive end specifically. 7 face-offs. There you see his mother and his brother at the game tonight too. 7 face-offs tonight for Manny Malhotra, none bigger than this one when the Canucks were shorthanded. He goes 6-1. 6-1 in the face-off circle. Absolutely unbelievable for a guy that hasn't played since the middle of March. Of course, we got so much to come in the next hour or so. We're going to head down to the rink. Karin Larson and Jody Vance are standing by. We're going to get player reaction. We're going to hear from both coaches, Alain Vigneault and Claude Julien. Obviously different perspectives on a series that is now 2-0 for the Vancouver Canucks. Also, though, we got Cliff Ronning in studio as always, and let's bring Cliff in right now and just get some initial thoughts on the game. Cliff Ronning, of course, knows what it's like to play in the Stanley Cup final, knows what it's like to play for the city in the final. Quick first impressions of the game.
Well, I think right off the hop, I thought that the Canucks came out pretty good. I thought Boston seemed to be turning the puck over in neutral zone, and then once the game got going, I thought Boston had their legs, and I thought Luongo had a really strong game for them.
For the second time in a row, or third game really in a row, he's been fantastic. I want to take a look at the tying goal because you mentioned something as soon as you walked in the studio. So let's take a look. This was the Daniel Sedin goal. So what do you see?
Yeah, what
here?
you see here is you actually see Chara makes a mistake. He turns the wrong way, and then all of a sudden the puck goes back to the point, and once again he's swimming, and just a great play by Burrows, heads-up play.
So here, right here, this is when he's turning the right there. So that split second is all you need,
That's all it takes at this level, and the puck goes to the net, and just a great play.
And you know, they talk about it being a game of inches, and that's a perfect example. And when you're out on the ice, sometimes it's a subtle thing and the fans watch and don't realize, but when you're on there, do you realize when something like that happens? If you go, oh my God, he just turned the wrong way for a split second.
Well, it just takes that split second to make a mistake. You always, as a defenseman, you're always trying to face the puck, and he turned the wrong way, and it cost them.
Cliff, we got lots more we want to talk to you about. There's some key moments in the game. We're going to come back to you and check in with you a little bit later in the show. Also, as we said, we want to head back down to the rink. There's some stuff we want to check there, but also, of course, one of the favorite parts of the show, of course, has been our trivia question. The folks at Lancaster Vintage make all the cool retro gear for the Vancouver Canucks. You can only buy it at the Canucks team store at the Rogers Arena. Unless, of course, you're watching the show and you have a chance to win it tonight. So we're talking about Manny Malhotra, of course, as mentioned, out since March 16th with the eye injury. And we started looking through Manny's career, some of his highlights, and we saw that back in his junior hockey days when he was playing in the Ontario Hockey League, he was named the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year. So let's take a look at our question tonight as we go to the board. Our question tonight: what is the name of the trophy given to the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year? Manny Malhotra won that award, so tonight we want to know what is the name of the trophy given to the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year. You can email us, shane.foxman@cbc.ca. That's shane.foxman@cbc.ca. And of course, number 27, Manny Malhotra, will take the 27th correct answer. Tonight we'll let you know who the winner is a little bit later in the rink. We want to go a little bit later in the show. We want to go right back down to the rink. Of course, that's where the action is tonight. And Jody Vance is standing by with, I believe, a special guest. Jody?
Thank you, Shane. Yes, Jim, I don't even know where to start in this game. Let's start with the overtime winner and how incredibly huge that must be for Alex Burrows after all of the finger gate stuff that went down with him.
Yeah, he said in the first intermission in an interview with French television RDS that his dad told him today that he should score to give everybody something to talk about him about other than what happened in game number one. And not only did he do that twice, but he also got an assist, and a terrific assist on Daniel Sedin's goal, where that shot came in from Eder and he just bunted it back for Daniel to put it away. So it's a great game, and it is remarkable how when the game has been on the line, the biggest games in this Vancouver season, Alex Burrows, not just this season, but Alex Burrows seems to find a way to get himself in the spotlight. And then if you go back and look at how the winning goal was scored, it was the problem that Boston had when they were in trouble through all of games 1 and 2, and that was turning the puck over in the neutral zone. Edler gets a turnover, Daniel Sedin gives it to Burrows, and a terrific second effort against Zdeno Chara.
How quickly did Tim Thomas skate out of his crease to get off the ice when that overtime winner was scored?
Well, it can't be a very good feeling in a building like this, in a hostile environment, and know you get caught out of the net sliding away, and that's, you know, he's just, I would be doing the same thing. We'd all be getting out of there as fast as we could.
So unfortunate for him, however, after such a stellar performance through this game. There were so many heart-stopping saves that he was, you know, courtesy of at the opposite end of the ice. It was something to be seen.
Yeah, and you know what? But part of it is too the way Tim plays. He is such an acrobat. He overplays a lot of shots, and has to get back. But he gets the job done, and he battles so hard that he makes a lot of saves look really hard. And he is just such a battler. At the other end, Luongo just makes everything look so easy because he's a big positional goaltender, and he had a great night as well. But Tim Thomas, at times in the first and third period in particular of this game, kept Boston in the game with a chance to even the series. And what more could you ask for your goalie?
Indeed. Well, let's talk about the Manny Malhotra factor. It got rather burrowed today.
Yeah.
But it had to be something else for these players. From your perspective in terms of calling the game, how big was that moment when he first came onto the ice?
Well, how about just start with the warm-up?
Right.
You very seldom hear the ovation that was in this building during the warm-up for not only the team but for Manny Malhotra, and then for him to come on the ice and for the fans to recognize him. But let's go back to the basic part of it about why Alain Vigneault wanted him in the lineup and what he can do for the team. He's 6-1 in the face-off circle. Gives him another left-handed draw to go with Henrik Sedin, and they've got the two righties in Kessler and Lapierre. It gives them some trust in their fourth line so that Victor Oreskovich, in his short period of time, had a great game, but he was allowed to play because Manny Malhotra was in the lineup, and the coach can trust that line to be on the ice. So, it has a rippling effect, but for the most part, I mean, it's a tremendously emotional story, and it's a miracle that Manny's in the lineup, but it really helps the Vancouver Canucks on the ice.
Let's look ahead to Monday. How can we not?
Well, I just was saying to Craig Simpson at the end of the game when we took our headsets off, I said, for Boston, how do you beat a team that keeps getting stuff like that? Every time they need a hero, they found one. Whether it's 10 seconds left or 13 seconds left, they get a big goal to tie it. 11 seconds in, they get an overtime winner. It's going to be really hard now because there's a great advantage for the Vancouver Canucks, but Boston needs to get back to its game. They get back to their home. They'll have a great crowd there on their side, and they'll try and play the way they did in the second period of the game tonight. If they can do that for 3 periods, they can get their way back into this series. They've been down 2-0 before, but right. Vancouver is a really determined team, and we all know if you just do the math, Vancouver's got 5 chances to win 2 games. Boston's got 5 to win 4. I know which side I'd like to be on.
Jim Hughson, thank you so much for this. Have a safe charter, and we'll look forward to your call on Monday.
Thank you, Jody.
All right, Shane, let's send it back to you in studio.
Thanks very much, Jody, and of course, Jim Hughson of Hockey Night in Canada. We appreciate him stopping by. We're going to take a quick break on the show. Alex Burrows, the hero, once again tonight, 2 goals and a helper. Canucks win 3-2, lead the Stanley Cup final. Sounds good, doesn't it? The best of 7, 2 games to none. Now, lots more to come. Player reaction. We'll hear from the coaches. We'll head back to the rink. We'll take a break on Seeking Stanley, powered by BC Hydro on CBC Vancouver.
What's the one thing more than anything else you need in the third if you're to close this out tonight? Shot, 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 shot. Shot, 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 shot. Shots.
It's amazing. You can go weeks without seeing a hip check. Now we see one almost every game. Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Seeking Stanley on CBC News Vancouver. Of course, our special Canucks post-game coverage as we follow the Canucks march towards the Stanley Cup and just 2 more wins thanks to Alex Burrows tonight. 2 goals and a helper. He scores the winner 11 seconds into overtime. The Canucks outshoot, who are we playing tonight? Yeah. Boston Bruins 33-30 tonight. The only shot in overtime is the one that counts, as we said. They will now head to Boston with a commanding 2-0 lead. One guy who's probably really happy tonight. Head coach Alain Vigneault, every button he pushes seems to be exactly right move to make. Andrew Albertson seemed like the right move to make again. Let's hear what he has to say after the game as he steps to the podium.
AV, could you talk about your team's response when you're down 2-1, the mood in the dressing room and in between periods going into the third?
Yeah, well, we, didn't like 15 minutes of that second period. I thought we didn't have our work boots on. We got out-muscled down low in our end and out-muscled down low in their end, and I thought they really took it to us. But we talked about adjusting different things, especially our work ethic, and thought our guys were real good the last 5 minutes of that second period and real good in the third period. So it was another tough battle by 2 teams that are battling really hard.
Cam? You talk about Burrows just in general, and then also about the kind of the ending and how that must have felt after the last couple of days?
Well, everybody knows, anybody that follows our team knows that he's a really important part of our team. He plays 5-on-5, he plays power play, and he kills penalties. So, he's overall one of our go-to guys. And again, tonight, he came up big in key moments. I thought he was one of our better players, and we need him to play that way.
Pierre?
Alan, can you talk about the way your team seems to have pushed the pace another level in both third periods in this series so far?
Yeah, if you look at our stats during the regular season, I think we were the best team in the third period as far as scoring goals. So That hasn't changed throughout the playoffs. We can push the pace and create scoring chances, and I thought we did, and I thought the Twins, that line really took over in the third and spent a lot of time in their end, wearing down their defense, and it paid off for us. We were able to tie the game. I'm sure that has not happened very often to Boston this year, where they give up a lead, and we scored that goal in OT right off the hop there. So.
Down here in your left, Coach.
Owen, how did Manny look tonight, and how much of an option does he give you moving forward with your fourth line? They played significantly more minutes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm real happy. It was a really happy moment for our whole group to be able to put Manny in the lineup and to have him play the way he did. He did exactly what we all expected. He was real good on face-offs. He was good on the ice. He created a scoring chance. That line played more minutes than throughout the San Jose series, I think, and through obviously more than in the first game against Boston. So I'm excited to have him back, and I think he's only going to get better as we move forward here.
Head coach Alain Vigneault, of course, thrilled to have Manny Malhotra back in the lineup, and why not when you look at his work, regardless of how many minutes he played. The fact that he was 6-1 in the face-off circle, and a lot of those face-offs Manny Malhotra takes are in the defensive zone, maybe when the Canucks are shorthanded or very late in a period, and he was fantastic tonight, 6-1. I want to bring Cliff Ronning back in, and we were talking as we were watching the third period and while getting set for overtime about playing hurt. So many guys banged up, and you brought up a good point. If you're not playing hurt, there's probably something wrong tonight.
I mean, that's what makes the playoffs amazing. Trying to win that shiny trophy, win a ring, you have to pay the price, and you show that your teammates that you'll do whatever it takes, block shots. And tonight, right now, it looks like the Canucks are a team of destiny. They're playing excellent.
Let's take a look at some of the video, some of the hits we were talking about. And previously, Ryan Kessler gets absolutely crushed early on, and you can see when he gets up. Guys don't like to show that they're hurt, but you can see when he goes down, he gets up very slowly. It's tough. Like you say, you have to play hurt, but it's tough. And Torres here kind of went in awkwardly and kind of limped off the ice, but you have to, don't you?
Absolutely. You can see guys paying the price. It starts with Kessler in the first series, and it just keeps going on and on. Torres has played amazing. He's like a little pit bull out there hitting guys. And
then you see here Rich Peverly hacking at Kevin Bieksa behind the play. And for Canuck fans, with already Dan Hamhuis out, you saw him lying on the ice and you were like, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah, we did. We were at the game looking down, and we weren't sure what happened to Bieksa there. And if he gets hurt, that would definitely give the Canucks some troubles.
And we mentioned no Dan Hamhuis. Did you see that as they win tonight, but was his absence noticeable tonight? I thought so.
I think a little bit. I thought the Canucks a little bit threw the puck up the boards, a little more than normal instead of control the puck. But for the most part, they're finding ways to win, and it seems like every night a new star is born. And I just thought Burrows just had a very special game tonight.
Especially coming off the heels of what happened in Game 1, it just makes it all the better for him. It must be a great feeling when you leave the rink after a game like that with what was said about you leading into the game.
Oh, absolutely. But I think, like I said, team of destiny. I've never seen a city that wants a cup so bad. I mean, there was a sea of blue going up the street here. So Vancouver definitely and BC deserves a team to win one, and this could be the team.
We keep hearing them talk about comparing it to the Olympics, but it's 40 years of pain and suffering leading up to this. We're going to check in with Cliff again. Cliff Ronning hanging out in the studio, of course, seeking Stanley. We want to go right back down to the rink. Of course, that's where the action is. Jody Vance and Karin Larson standing by. Ladies.
All right, thanks, Shane. And Karin, let's talk about Alex Burrows. It's such a great story that he tells. Father knows best. Right. Dad had said, you better score a goal tonight because people need to forget about Fingergate and the whole biting incident. Well,
we call it the fickle finger of fate, hey?
That's
tonight
it.
For Alex Burrows. I got to make a big turn in this story, Jody, because, you talk about Alex being a great story tonight. He's been a great story since I think he started playing hockey, undrafted, coming out of the East Coast League, which, let's face it, is a goon league.
Yeah.
Getting a contract with the Manitoba Moose, working that into a call-up to the Vancouver Canucks, getting a full-time spot on the Vancouver Canucks, and then working his way up through the Canucks onto the best line in the NHL, playing with the Sedins. He gets overlooked on that line. He fits in perfectly. He is the triplet of choice throughout the years. He's the guy that has made it work the best. He gets paid $2 million a year. I'm sorry, Alex, your agent needs to do a better job. Anyway, in the dressing room tonight, Alex was asked to reflect on his East Coast roots, and I think he teared up a little bit. Here's Alex Burrows.
Overage in junior, that was my second year in junior. I started playing junior as a 19-year-old, and obviously I I think it was most in the East Coast. After 2 full years in the East Coast and the lockout year when I got sent back from Manitoba, I told myself at Christmas if I was going to still be in the East Coast, I'd probably pack it in and then go back to school because, like I said before, making $425 in the East Coast doesn't really. You don't really save a lot of money, and when I was 23, 24 years old, and you want to start thinking about the future, and so obviously I was able to get the call up and really get better playing under Randy Carlyle with the moves the lockout year with great players, and it was a long road from there.
Do you remember signing your big contract in Manitoba?
Oh yeah.
What did you get?
It was 45 grand over. I think it was 28 grand in the East Coast. That was my big year, so pretty happy.
You go out and buy a car?
No, I remember I had to work in the summer as a landscaper and used to put a lot of work to be able to save a little bit of money.
Or you can take Karin's advice, Alex, and get your agent to renegotiate for you. Interesting moment in the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast. We all love Ron McLean, and he held up that photograph of Mark Crawford on the bench with, was it Marcus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi, and then in behind you could see
the youngsters.
Yeah, Alex Burrows and Ryan Kessler in their rookie year.
Yeah, and they've come up together, and they're good friends. And of course, when you ask Ryan Kessler to talk about Alex Burrows, he's more than happy, especially when it comes to Burrows' penchant for scoring big goals in overtime in the playoffs. Here's Ryan Kessler.
Yeah, we battled hard when we were down. Obviously, our second period wasn't that great, and we showed a lot of character again to come back and Bird's the hero again, and it's good to see.
What about that, just his ability to come up in a big situation?
It was huge. 11 seconds. It was. I knew he'd score as soon as he crossed the blue line.
Can you talk about Alex's uncanny ability to score those big goals in these playoffs, right?
Yeah, he's been doing it all playoffs, and even in years past he's been doing it. So it's he has that ability, and it's great to see.
You guys have scored some bizarre game-winning goals here. Kevin's and now this one he outreaches a 6'9" guy to score on a wraparound.
Yeah, just his battle level was extremely high tonight, and he maybe outwilled him a bit there, and I don't even know how he scored, but he did.
What did it mean to you when Manny stepped on the ice and the reaction you got tonight?
It was pretty special to hear. Obviously, he's a big part of this team. We care about him a lot, and it was huge for him and huge for us to see him to be able to play, and the fans were amazing for him tonight.
6-1.
Certainly huge for everyone on the ice tonight wearing blue. Let's send it back to Shane. We'll have more from the rink in just a few minutes.
Thanks very much, Jody Vance and Karin Larson down at Rogers Arena, gathering all kinds of player reaction. And you heard from Ryan Kessler, will over skill, and that's something you hear a lot from the Vancouver Canucks. We heard it throughout the season. No one should want it more than you, and that's half the battle when you take the ice. We're going to take a quick break. Lots more still to come. We'll head back down to the rink. We still have to hear from Claude Julien, of course, Cliff Ronning in studio, and more player reaction, of course, from the rooms. You're watching Seeking Stanley on CBC News Vancouver, powered by BC Hydro. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this could be the worst seat in the house. What time did you get here for these seats? 1 o'clock. Who even knew there was a capacity? We're at capacity. Wow. Can you see the screen? Let's see, let me move over. Let me just see if I could see the screen from here. See the game. Oh, you're looking at a live shot on Granville Street as Canuck fans want to go anywhere but home as they continue to celebrate tonight's dramatic 3-2 overtime win. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Canucks now lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. Alex Burrows playing the hero tonight. 2 goals and an assist, including the overtime winner, just 11 seconds into the extra frame. And the Canucks absolutely rolling at this point, and you got to feel for the Bruins. 2 very close games, 2 games that they probably thought they could have won either of them, if not one of them at least. They now go home facing an 0-2 deficit. Lots to come. We're going to head back down to the rink. We're going to hear hear from some of the players. We still have the head coach of the Boston Bruins, Claude Julien, to come, and of course Cliff Roning's in studio. I want to take a look at some of the key moments from the game, though. First, let's take a look, and I'll tell you what, right off the bat, this was unbelievable. Manny Malhotra making an appearance, hasn't played since March 16th, and the fans just chanting Manny's name almost every time he came on the ice, and it was great to see him play. Roberto Luongo coming off the shutout, solid yet again. Look at this one. Kind of scary. We hear someone say, you know, if you have nowhere to shoot it, just shoot it at his mask. Seemed like to be a right idea. Canucks now catch a break as they grab the early lead. Chris Higgins looked like he had the puck, but it was Alex Burrows who fires at home on the power play, his 8th of the postseason. Kind of sneaks it by Tim Thomas there, and it was 1-0. The Canucks, by the way, coming into this game, 9-2 when they score first. Take a look again. You see Higgins. Maybe that fooled Thomas, thinking Higgins was going to shoot it, but it's Alex Burrows who does the damage. It was 1-0 after 1. We'll go to the second period, and Bruins on the power play. Luongo with the big save on Mark Recchi on the doorstep. Nicely done from reverse. You can see how quickly he had to get the pads and the stick down on the ice to keep it out. A little bit later, though, on the power play, they finally find a way, and it's, Vancouver's own Milan Lucic doing the damage on the power play. Christian Ehrhoff can't tie him up. Lucic buries it, and it's 1-1. Then just 2.5 minutes later, they score again, and this was a beautiful goal. You can't blame Roberto Luongo on this one. Mark Recchi, so another BC boy. This time it's from Kamloops. A couple of BC boys on the Bruins lineup doing the Canucks no favors. There you see Recchi off the shaft of his stick and in, and it was 2-1. After that, Tim Thomas looked to be unbelievable in the last few minutes, robbing Jannik Hansen. How does he get across? Jannik Hansen can't believe it, and he's not the only one as he somehow gets across to stop Jannik Hansen. Nice job. And then what about Jeff Tambellini? So close, but Michael Ryder gets his stick on the stick and the puck, and it keeps that one out. Let's go to the third period, and this was a scary moment. Kevin Bieksa going down. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Fans absolutely terrified, holding their breath when they see him go down, thinking about Dan Hamhuis on the shelf as well. Canucks get another chance to get even. All kinds of craziness in front of the Bruins net, but they can't find a way to get it past Thomas. Here comes another chance. Watch this giveaway. Bruins, I don't know, playing hot potato in their own end, but the Canucks, can't beat Thomas. Finally, though, off another giveaway. We heard Cliff Ronning talk about Zdeno Chara turning the wrong way, and that was costly. Burrows, the gorgeous pass to Daniel Sedin, his 9th of the postseason, and we're tied at 2. And take a look at the pass by Burrows. Back to the net. It's almost like a basketball pass, a little Meadowlark lemon, as he feeds Daniel Sedin off the wing, and he just waits and fires it up and above, and as we said, it was 2-2. And then look at this, 5 minutes to go, the Canucks, a 4-on-1. A 4-on-1. They barely get the puck to the net, but when they do, Tim Thomas is there to cover things up. And of course, we go to overtime. And as we said, 11 seconds in. Not sure what happened on that pass off the boards, but next thing you know, Alex Burrows breaking in. Zdeno Chara cuts him off, but doesn't stick with them. And as we said, it's will over skill. Alex Burrows sticking with it. The Canucks win this one 3-2 in overtime. An absolute thriller. They now lead the best-of-7 series. 2 games done. Take a look again as the puck gets by, and then Burrows doesn't give up. Looks like he's going to shoot, waits, because we keep hearing how far Tim Thomas comes out of his net, and he did again, and it cost him. And as Jody Vance mentioned earlier, Tim Thomas can't get off the ice quick enough. 3-2. The final score. Now, so many heroes, and as we said in the playoffs, every night someone else kind of steps up. You never know who it's going to be. Tonight it was Alex Burrows, but he wasn't the only one. I want to bring in Cliff Ronning once again, of course, a longtime NHLer, played in the Stanley Cup Finals with the Canucks. You know, the top 2 lines get a lot of attention. The third line's been getting a lot of attention with Raffi Torres, but tonight the fourth line, the addition of Manny Malhotra, Jeff Tambellini, and Victor Oreskovic playing, and we'll take a look at some of them, especially in the first period. How key is that to the team when your fourth line can have some sort of impact like these guys had tonight? Yeah,
it's huge. You can see the energy when they get out there. They're keeping the puck in deep, and they're taking the man, so that way you're wearing down the defense there.
Yeah, no, it was absolutely. And I believe we do have some tape here, do we not? Yeah, take a look. This was first period, 5 minutes in, and they kind of set the tone. Everyone hitting.
Yep, they put it in deep, punished their D. You can see here they almost had a chance there. Malhotra was open, but they just keep working hard.
And if fans don't know Victor Oreskovic, they just don't give up. They just kept coming in. And here, even Oreskovic, look at the confidence he's playing with, not looking to get over center and dump it in, taking it as far as he can and taking a shot. And, you know, when you're on the bench and you see your fourth line guys working like that and having that kind of impact, what does that say to you?
Well, it just tells you right away that everyone's going, and really what it does is it changes the momentum, and then the big boys start going, and then you got the Sedins and the Kesslers, and then it just keeps going like a snowball effect.
We hear a lot about you get the puck deep, you try to hammer the defenseman, even if it has no effect on this game. by the third or the fourth game it wears on you. Is that actually the case? Do you sense that when you're out there that guys are maybe getting a little itchy when they get back there?
Oh, absolutely. You throw it in deep, they know you're coming at them, and you could see that Chara, I thought, didn't have his best game.
No.
He did not have a good game tonight, and for Boston to even have a chance, he has to play much better.
Him and Tim Thomas have to be the keys. We're going to check out some more of There's something funny I want to talk to you about a little bit later coming up, but we want to head back down to the rink. Of course, we want to get more player reaction. Jody Vance and Karin Larson standing by, and all of a sudden, very quiet Rogers Arena.
Well, we just had Manny Malhotra walk by and give us a wink and a nod and a smile. He's obviously having a very fun evening as the Vancouver Canucks get set for their charter to Boston for the all-important Game 3. The Vancouver Canucks certainly getting what they wanted tonight, but Milan Lucic of the Boston Bruins had the opportunity to interview him back in Toronto early in his tenure with the Bruins. And here's a guy who never forgets his roots. He's very humble, he's very kind, he speaks so fondly of his home, and it must have meant so much for him tonight to get that goal.
I love it. I mean, this is the mother in me coming out, but when you see his parents and his brother cheering in the stands, it's just one of those great moments, even if you're a Canuck fan, because exactly right what you say about Milan, you just can't help but love this kid. You know, he really is very proud to come from this area. Of course, he hopes his team would have done better, going back to Boston now, down 2-0 in the series. Anyway, let's hear what Milan had to say after the game.
It was just we were trying to just do a quick up play, and they were able to turn it around. Yes, like you said, quickly, and obviously it's unfortunate for us that it happened the way that it happened, but it sucks right now. But I think we can't dwell on it too much. We gotta look forward to what we need to do to get ourselves back in the series.
You did do some things tonight, for instance, your goal, net front presence, you scored on the power play. Not suggesting a moral victory, but I mean, if these little bits go into getting back to the series, you pat yourself on the back for those points.
Yeah, it's it was nice to get a couple tonight and not be shut out like we were last game, and we talked about it going all the way back to the first series. A lot of goals are scored in front of the net, and you got to create that net front presence, and it was much better today, and I think that's why we were able to get 2 goals today.
Does it bother you that the guy that scores 2 goals and has an assist is the guy that was chomping down on Patrice Bergeron's fingers?
It's tough. Obviously, we're not a team that's gonna cry about what happened, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's a tough pill to swallow, I'm sure, for the Boston Bruins, particularly when it is Alex Burrows getting 2 goals and an assist in this game, and perhaps some of them thinking that Alex Burrows shouldn't even be on the ice tonight.
Well, that was an angle the Boston media was really going after in the dressing room, Jody. If the Canucks' playoff mantra is 1 game at a time, the Bruins, to their credit, their playoff mantra is we're moving on. Right. And anyway, Brad Ferentz was one of the guys asked about, should Burrows have even been playing tonight after chomping down on Patrice Bergeron's fingers in the last game, and here's what Ferentz had to say.
Well, NHL made its decision, so you live with it. You don't whine about it, feel sorry for yourselves. I mean, he bit Bergie. I mean, his finger's bleeding, but obviously, if they can't have conclusive evidence, then that's the NHL's decision. You got to live with it. So nobody's here complaining about it.
Yeah, and you can't complain about it now. It's done. It's why they play the games, and it's why you wait until that final horn before you celebrate, or in this case, the overtime winner so early in the extra frame. Let's go back to the studio now, and Shane.
Thanks very much, Jody Vance, Karin Larson down at Rogers Arena. So we're hearing from the Bruins, obviously a very disappointed team. They had a chance to win both games, at least have a shot at both games here in Vancouver, but they come away empty and heartbreaking losses in both games, giving up the late goal in Game 1, and then, of course, the overtime winner to Alex Burrows here. Claude Julien dealing with the media, addressing the reporters after the game. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Coach, why was it Zdeno Chara and Andrew Ferentz to start overtime? Dennis Seidenberg, I guess.
Well, because we don't know who they're going to put on. They got the last change. It's a pretty normal thing.
Danny.
Coach, it's 2 games in a row now where they were able to exert their will, take over in the third period. How alarming is that for you right now?
Well, I think it's not what's alarming right now. It's what we need to do better. And I don't know if it's them taking over in the third period. I think our team has to certainly be better with our puck management. our decision making. And we need to play a little bit more like we did in the second period, and we're capable of doing that. So we got to go back home, regroup, and get back to work.
Coach James Murphy, ESPN Boston. Lucic seemed to not really know what you just spoke of there, why that's happening. Do you pinpoint it to anything, lack of focus, nerves, anything?
I don't know, but I know we have to fix it. You know, it's as simple as that. In the last 2 games here, we've lost by 1 goal, and still I don't think we've played the way we can. We're a better team than we've shown, and we got to go back home and start showing that and get ourselves back in this series.
Coach, is there ever a concern on how you lose a game? The last 2 could have gone either way. To lose this way and to be down 0-2?
Not really. We've been through a lot this year. We're resilient. I don't think that's what's going to drag us down. We've been able to bounce back before, and we've got if you want, we've gone through the experience of being down 2-0 against Montreal, and probably even worse because we lost them at home. So you're going to say it's probably a better team here. Absolutely, a team that makes it to the finals is a better team, but it doesn't change the fact that we've been through it, and we didn't come here just to roll over. We're definitely going to go back home and regroup and bounce back.
Scott?
Claude, Zdeno was talking about the turnovers and puck management. He seemed to struggle tonight. Any concern about his level of play, or you expect him to bounce back once you get home? Or?
Well, I guess, all of a sudden, you lose a game and now we're going to start wondering about certain players. I think it's really about our whole team. It's not about Zdeno. Zdeno didn't lose a game for us tonight. Our whole team did. I didn't think we played very well and to what our standards are all about. And I think the decision-making, the puck management that I keep going back with is what's costing us games. I mean, when you turn pucks over to neutral zone, this is a team that thrives on it. And we know that they thrive on it, yet we kept turning pucks over in the neutral zone. And so we got to be a little better in those areas. And I thought in the second period we started doing that and got ourselves in the lead. And then, they got themselves back in the game with that tying goal. And obviously that last goal was certainly a hard one to swallow.
Head coach Claude Julien of the Boston Bruins obviously very disappointed, and he brings up a point that Cliff was just telling me about while the coach started to talk. He goes, those turnovers in the neutral zone are absolutely killers. And it was interesting. The Bruins scored 2 goals in 2 minutes and 35 seconds. They grabbed the lead. They're playing great. They seem to have refound their focus, their legs. And that's when the Canucks started to pick up their game once they were down. They were terrible through the second period, but the last 5 minutes, they really seemed to improve, and then they were a much better team in the third period. I'll tell you what, let's give you a reminder about our contest. The cool gear from Lancaster Vintage, all the retro Canuck gear. You can only buy it at the Canucks team store at Rogers Arena. Tonight, of course, we're focusing on Manny Malhotra. Malhotra was named the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year when he was playing in the OHL. So tonight we want to know, what is the name of the trophy given to the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year? We're taking the 27th correct answer at shane.foxman@cbc.ca. shane.foxman@cbc.ca. We'll announce the winner a little bit later in the show. We're going to take a quick break, but lots more still to come. We're going to hear from Sammy Salo, Henrik Sedin, more from Cliff Ronning, and we'll head back down to the rink. You're watching Seeking Stanley on CBC News Vancouver, powered by BC Hydro. Oh, man, I'm exhausted. Listen, Jim, thanks for being part of the big Seeking Stanley show. It's good having BC Hydro on board, but seriously, man, I'm working like a dog here.
We're not expecting a lot. We just want everybody to do their part, conserve a little bit.
It's like the team, eh? Everyone's got a job?
Everyone's got a job to play, and hopefully we win big here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, your job's to keep pedaling, man. We need a picture on that screen. Let's go. Hustle, buddy. Hustle, hustle. Man, you got goosebumps whether you were at the game or just watching it on TV. Hearing everyone chanting Manny's name was an absolutely fantastic feeling. And you think about just a few months ago, not only was his season in jeopardy, but his career was in jeopardy. So just a fantastic story, and it all comes on a night where the Canucks grab a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 Stanley Cup final. Alex Burrows, the hero tonight, 2 goals and a helper, including the game winner 11 seconds into overtime. We're going to hear more from the Canucks. So let's head right back down to the rink. Jody Vance and Karin Larson standing by with more reaction from the Canucks room. Ladies.
Thanks, Shane. And you know what, just to speak to that Manny moment for just a second, the level of volume in this arena, it's hard to transmit through television just how loud and electric it was. And those injured, a guy like Manny coming back, so huge. There are others on this team who have suffered through injuries and personal tragedies, and when we spoke with.
Well, Manny is the feel-good story #1 of the night. The feel-good story of the playoffs for me is Sami Salo, a guy who's been injured more than perhaps any player in the history of the NHL. I think he has 41 documented injuries. He's a guy that got bit by the only poisonous snake in Finland when he was playing golf there. He just seems to have bad luck. Blew out the Achilles playing floor hockey or floorball, I think they call it, earlier in the season. Spent the beginning of the season on the sidelines. At 36 years old, this is his last chance to win a Stanley Cup. So feel good for Sammy. What he was talking about today, and again, I mentioned it before about the Boston media really going after the Burrow shouldn't have even been on the ice. And so he was asked, you know, do you feel good that Alex got to play in today's game? And here's what Sammy said.
Was there a question? Yeah, I don't think there was ever a question. You know, it's, you know, our focus has been putting the best game on the ice.
Was there a point in the game that you felt the momentum kind of turned to your favor?
I don't know. Like I said, I think they had a stronger second period. You know, the first 15 minutes they controlled the play, but we were obviously able to turn that around and had a strong last 5 minutes of the second period, and then obviously a strong third period.
Does this team have a belief in it?
All right, I think we should hear from the Canucks captain on the night. Let's just roll it, guys.
Yeah, we're not surprised. He's been really good the last couple of years. He's great to play with for us, and he came up big tonight. And we had Raf the other game, and we had Burr tonight. So that's what we need.
How does it feel going to Boston up 2-0?
Well, a lot better than 1-1, that's for sure. We know it could have been the other way around. It's been close games, so we're gonna have to keep. I think we're gonna have to play better. Tonight wasn't our best game. We started playing a lot better in the third and took over the game, so that's a good sign.
Okay, and that's a wrap for Karin and I down here at Rogers Arena. Will we see you again from down here? Will there be a Game 5? We'll find out, I guess, on Monday or Wednesday. Shane, let's get back to the studio.
Thanks very much. Great job, as always. Jody Vance and Karin Larson down at the rink, as we say, Game 3 going Monday. One final quick break. When we come back, Cliff Ronning joins us with a little bit of insight into what we saw on the ice tonight and what to look forward to in Game 3. Plus, of course, our trivia winner. All that and more. You're watching Seek and Stanley on CBC News Vancouver.
The final, and the road team has won 60 to them. Road team has the puck here, and the Bruins advance and take it right away. Here's Burrows, takes, can't take the shot. Burrows got the scores. Alex Burrows has done it again. 11 seconds in, and the Canucks are up 2-0.
Welcome back to Seeking Stanley. Just a couple of minutes left on the show. There was a great moment we want to talk to Cliff about. You've been in more than your fair share of these kind of situations. Let's take a look. This was Maxime Lapierre, of course, and Patrice Bergeron. Do you want to bite my finger? Do you want it does this kind of stuff happen on the ice when you're out there? Are guys always trying to get you off your game?
They are. I'm sure they're best friends in the summer, but you know, they know that Bergeron's a guy that can stick handle, make plays, and he's not doing it yet, but I'm pretty sure you'll see it next game. He'll be carrying the puck.
One of the few Boston players that is really an offensive threat. They don't seem to have a lot offensively going their way.
Yeah, right now they need someone like that to carry the puck, and right now it's not happening for him at all.
Give me Game 3. Look ahead. You said Boston's much different at home.
Well, at home, they're going to keep it real simple. They're going to get the red line and dump it in and send 2 guys and try to crash and look for the guy in the high slot for a shot. But the Canucks keep playing well and weather the storm. I think we're going to see another third game win.
Well, let me ask you just quickly, that's the key, weathering the storm, because Boston will have to play their best probably 5 to 10 minutes coming out of the gate in Game 3.
Absolutely. They're going to use their fans to their advantage and, you know, the Canucks are going to have to make sure they make smart plays coming out of the zone, and obviously Luongo's going to have to be steady and show the guys that he's going to be calm in the nets.
You know what? The more shots he gets, the better he plays. Cliff Ronning, as always, thanks for coming in, man.
you.
We appreciate it. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's just get to our contest. We wanted to know the name of the award given to the OHL's Scholastic Player of the Year. We asked that, of course, because Manny Malhotra won that award. The answer, the Bobby Smith Trophy. Of course, the old Minnesota North Star and Montreal Canadian. Dean Holden was our winner tonight. Dean, someone will be in contact with you. Congratulations. Thanks for everyone for taking part. Everyone working on the show, Cliff Ronning, of course, Karin Larson and Jody Vance down at the rink, all the folks behind the scenes here at Seeking Stanley. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you Monday night after Game 3. 2 down and 2 to go. You're watching Seeking Stanley.
You're watching Seeking Stanley, powered by BC Hydro Power Smart. Let's be smart with our power.